XRP holders, the launch is now imminent. And what am I talking about? Well, I am talking about RLUSD, but this is going to quickly morph into one of the largest moves for XRP. The overall catalyst right now, the timeline for all of these catalysts to align perfectly as well, is perfectly aligning. That is exactly why I do believe that XRP holders right now have such a massive opportunity in front of them. And a lot of people are completely overlooking what's truly happening right now. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And also, if you are not a member of the Discord right now, you need to jump in. It is completely free. We have over 9,000 members now, and there is a ton of free information in there that could help you absolutely conquer this crypto cycle. So what are you guys waiting for? Join the free Discord. Links are down in the description below. And with that being said, let's jump on in. So the overall market definitely has erupted over the last 24 hours after having that big sell-off. And even if we look at the past 24-hour gainers, we could see that XRP is almost at $2.50, up about almost 6% today. Bitcoin still trading around $100,000, and Ethereum also trading around roughly $4,000. The 24-hour span in the top 100, well, we are just seeing some great gains across the board. Avi is doing very good. Chainlink's doing very good. It seems as though a lot of the DeFi projects are doing very good right now, as well as the DEXs, which is to be expected. I mean, retail is back. They're trading. They're looking into DeFi. They want to get passive income opportunities. But even if we look at the top 500, we could also see some very strong gains across the board. It feels as though we are witnessing some big shifts happening around the space. Let's just be honest here. The overall altcoin market is destined to have a lot larger moves happen over the next couple weeks, especially as Bitcoin dominance does continue to drop and Bitcoin does wake up. But let's take a quick look at XRP because trading volume is still pretty much down versus previous time frames. I mean, it's down about roughly almost 50%. So I want to see a lot more volume. Jumping into XRP, we'll probably see that once we do see the big launch of RLUSD. We're just waiting for it, right? It's a ticking time bomb, just waiting to launch. But as we really look at this overall chart, we almost erased the entire move, sub $2. And I do think that we are getting ready to have another big move to the upside. And what's crazy about this recent move to the downside of almost like, sub $2, I think we hit like $1.92 on some exchanges. Well, over 100 million XRP was bought on this recent move to the downside, which is crazy. And this is all whale activity. I know that there's institutional investors out there also buying up XRP. We know this because of the research that we've been doing. So institutional focus on XRP is definitely there. Retail focus is definitely there as well. And I do think that this is only going to continue to grow. Now, let's actually talk about the charts because Credible Crypto put out two charts. The original one was this one, right? Which we did talk about quite a bit. This was addressing, how XRP basically completed the first leg of the Wave 5 structure. And this is going all the way back to when XRP was trading at around like $1.27. And he was looking at, XRP hitting somewhere around $2 or so. It did wick down lower, which is to be expected. Listen, TA is not this magical thing where everything works out perfectly. For example, he was predicting us hitting $3 plus or so, and then selling off. But again, this market, nobody is going to be able to predict this market 100%. That's just the truth of it. But as we look at XRP off of this low of $2, $1.92, we are starting to see a nice little impulsive move to the upside. And I would argue that this move that Credible Crypto is looking for on XRP is most likely going to be the most probable move that happens. And we'll obviously talk a little bit more about this, but he is expecting us to actually flush a little bit more. So we'll probably have a nice move to about $2.90 or, at least retest the highs around $2.90, right? That's what he's actually predicting on the chart before chopping to the downside, target of like almost $2 again before we finally go to the upside. Now, a lot of people will say like there's no way that we're going back down to like, $2 or so. But this would actually be expected. And the reason why is that this is basically us chopping and consolidating, building liquidity, building volume to actually push us higher. So I do expect this to happen probably around the end of this month, just like Credible Crypto is probably expecting as well. But, again, the reason why I'm expecting that is because we now have RLUSD, which is just awaiting imminent launch. Okay. We have over here from Digital Pound Foundation. Digital Pound Foundation member Ripple has achieved a significant milestone with its RLUSD stablecoin receiving approval from the New York Department of Financial Services. As confirmed by CEO Brad Garlinghouse yesterday, the approval paves the way for the stablecoins listings on partner exchanges, which Ripple plans to roll out imminently. And yeah, listen, they are getting ready now. It is officially ready for launch at this point with the approval from the regulators, and it's kind of crazy. It actually is kind of crazy that this has aligned perfectly with the time frame. And what do I mean by that? Well, if we look at what's happening, think about how crazy the next month for XRP is going to be. Okay, we have RLUSD getting approval. It's now awaiting imminent launch. Then in January, Gary Gensler steps down. It feels as though the case is done, right? We could probably put that behind us around Q1 of 2025. We have a pro-crypto admin that is pushing utility projects ahead in the US. And now, with Ripple being a US-based company, getting regulatory approval for their stablecoin, which is mainly centered out on institutions and institutional DeFi, think about what's about to happen for XRP and for Ripple. I do think that adoption is going to quickly grow, and I also do believe that XRP is destined to have an absolute massive run-up this cycle. I don't think that the all-time high is going to be the end of the road. I'm looking for $5 to $7. I'm expecting $10 plus, but again, we have to watch, wait, and see. We trade the market as the market really kind of, shows us the path forward, but it feels as though right now the opportunity cost for XRP is very significant. And I also think that, as we really look at what's happening right now around this space, utility projects are destined to have a very, very good time. And the reason why I say this is because as we really look at what's going on around the US market, it's setting the stage. It is setting the stage for, these utility projects to ultimately be adopted in and utilized in the US. So as we look at what's going on here, the stablecoin minting has already been happening for RLUSD. Over 4 million RLUSD was actually transferred. It seems as though a lot of these tests are coming to a close. Even RL, stablecoin tracker, aka the Ripple stablecoin tracker on X, did say testing period of RLUSD is coming to an end. Please stay vigilant as scammers try to take advantage of the situation and wait for the official launch announcement. And yes, that's the number one thing that I will say right now is, we will see a lot of scams popping up around RLUSD, so just be aware of that. But I do agree with the statement. I think that we are starting to see these tests coming to an end, and it feels as though we are about to see a very big move in the market around Ripple and even XRP. Now, if we actually go over here, we have from XRP drops, Ripple has already officially signed 7 strategic partnerships with exchanges to drive the adoption of RLUSD. Many will follow within the next few days. These are Uphold, Bitstamp, Bitso, MoonPay, Independent Reserve, CoinMina, and also Bullish. And so far, we have been seeing a few of these exchanges already popping up and supporting RLUSD. We have Caleb and Brown, attention XRP holders, exciting news with RLUSD gaining New York Department of Financial Services approval. It's coming soon to Caleb and Brown. Stay tuned for updates. On top of that, KuCoin just recently said Ripple's RLUSD is here. And they did mention how this is going to boost XRP and bridges TradFi Plus, DeFi, multi-chain XRP Ledger and Ethereum, instant global settlements, and one-to-one USD-backed stablecoin. And on top of that, we have a few things to also look at when it comes to the adoption of this stablecoin. Listen, we look at RLUSD plus KeyRock plus Deutsche Bank plus all of these other institutions. Listen, Medico, which Ripple did purchase and it did become Ripple custody, is already setting up a big bridge to these institutional players. We know Deutsche Bank was, there's a few connections there, but it also, if you look at the previous players that were tied into Medico, they're massive institutional investors. They're massive institutional players, and they want to tap in to very liquid digital assets. RLUSD is allowing that bridge to be created, allowing these institutions to tap into this market in a large way, tokenize, and also utilize these utility projects in a way that benefits them. Meaning, we could see cross-border payments being revolutionized. We could see, DeFi yields being created through tokenized assets. Trading 24/7, 365 trading. Like, there is a lot of opportunities here for the institutional side when it comes to a stablecoin. This is why RLUSD is here at this current moment in time. If we go back to the original statements made about this stablecoin, it was all focused on institutional investors. So now, as this is awaiting imminent launch, I do think that the stage is set. And also, a big thing to focus on, and I have to say, big shout out to Vincent Van Code, US banks can hold RLUSD on the XRP ledger and Ethereum ledger, and why USDC and USDT cannot. Here's an explanation of why RLUSD is so special and why it took years to get approval. Read on. Regulation summary. Here we have the big players in the US. Assets must have clear value, reliable measurement, and meet impairment testing rules. Basel III requires proper risk weighting and liquidity standards for assets. The Federal Reserve and the FDIC mandates asset safety, soundness, and classification for capital adequacy. Dodd-Frank Act introduces transparency and oversight for derivatives and similar financial instruments. Why RLUSD meets these? Transparency. RLUSD operates under strict U.S. regulations, ensuring full asset backing and real-time audits for verifiable reserves. Risk compliance, fully centralized with offshore assets, onshore. That's a big focus, by the way. I just want to quickly reiterate that, right? Like, onshore assets is so crucial to focus on. This is with U.S. Treasuries, ensuring alignment with U.S. GAAP and Basel III requirements. Regulated custody, assets held in regulated financial institutions, meeting Federal Reserve and FDIC oversight. Why USDT and USDC do not. USDT, aka Tether, lacks consistent audits, and transparency. Reserves may include high risk or non-liquid assets, failing Basel III and the US GAAP standards. And then, of course, with Circle with USDC, while more transparent, operates partially offshore, making it harder to ensure full compliance with US regulatory frameworks, e.g. Dodd-Frank's scrutiny. Full disclosure, I use ChatGPT to help write this and source information. But as we really think about this, right, RLUSD is setting a very big example of what you should be doing when it comes to stablecoins, especially if we want to have global adoption of a stablecoin. I know that this is still tied back to the US dollar, and all of these countries are moving against the US dollar. You guys have to understand what's happening right now. We are starting to see very big moves towards digital, regardless of what the global landscape looks like. And yes, things are changing. Yes, things are starting to, move away from the paper-based processes. And with that, we look at, central bank digital currencies and how things will look, how the environment will look. De-dollarization is happening. But as we really think about what's really going on, we're starting to see the accelerants showing themselves. And those accelerants are moving us towards a digital system. The US and the US dollar will still be very dominant, even in a digital landscape. But if we really think about these stable coins and what's really going on, if you want to be successful, it has to be very transparent, it has to be regulated, it has to be compliant. And that's exactly what the RLUSD stablecoin is. It is one of the most compliant, one of the most regulated, and one of the most, in my opinion, it's like one of the best stablecoins that you could be looking into around safety. And if you really want to make sure that your funds are secure, I mean, this is a stablecoin that I feel very confident behind compared to, even Circle. I'm not even going to mention Tether because we know the problems with Tether, but it feels as though this was actually kind of all planned. I want to say that quickly because, if we think about the SEC lawsuit, if we think about the timeline here around the SEC lawsuit, it just kind of feels like this was all planned so that the XRP ledger, XRP, and even Ripple could all be fully cleared for regulatory, purposes, compliance purposes. And I feel as though this is kind of setting the narrative around institutions being able to have that safety net that they could tap into. And it feels like Ripple with the XRP ledger and this new stablecoin is exactly that. And I feel like from this point on, once we actually do see RLUSD launch, we are going to see very significant adoption of the XRP ledger through the institutional side of things. Maybe I'm, speculating a little bit too much here, but it just kind of feels like the environment is changing, and it feels like it all supports Ripple and even XRP. And I know that, it's not just XRP. We can mention Hedera there. We can mention XDC, mention QNT. We can mention all of these great projects because they are utility projects, but the entire US landscape has changed significantly. And I do think that this is definitely going to promote the growth of RLUSD, of Ripple, and even of XRP. So with that being said, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.